I think I've had too much coffee and not enough food, so that could be a really good thing or a really dangerous thing. So, just a disclaimer. But anyway, so as she said, my name is Jimmy, and I have been doing music for quite a few years since I think 2006 is when I wrote my first song. So, yeah, I've had a passion for writing music, or writing poetry, and writing spoken words for a long time, and I actually had the opportunity to do a spoken word on a national Christian tour for 2 years straight. So in 2 years, roughly, we went to 44 different states, which is crazy.
Praise God!
The cool thing is it wasn't about us. It was totally about Jesus and totally about students knowing who Jesus was and what sex was created for. I know it's a word they don't like to talk about, but listen, it was created from God, it was created by God, and He gave it to us for marriage, okay? So, and it's awesome. So anyway, so first off, I want to do two different things. One of them's I actually found this verse today. I wrote it, I think a few months ago, maybe a year ago, and it's called Overcome. And it's me just basically bragging about the Father and who He is and what He has done for me and how I've been able to overcome many obstacles in my life and many downfalls in my life because of who He is, not because of what I've done or what I've offered Him. Because let's just be honest, what we offer Him cannot compare what He gives us. So listen. I just wanted to share this because I found it this morning and I thought it's great because it just really just brags on God, our Father. And listen, there's a lot of division in the world, but there's one thing that is uniting us as people, and that is God Himself. So listen, I love looking out in the crowd and just seeing so many different, people, of different colors, all in one place worshiping one God. So, I'm sorry, I keep rambling. I'm gonna stop. I just like talking. I love talking, to people and just bragging about Jesus. So I'm gonna do it a little bit more. But anyway, so this one's called Overcome. My refuge and fortress, my God, whom I trust, my life-giving, soul-pleasing Lord, that is enough. You deliver me from threats in the darkness. Under your wings, I'm untouchable regardless. If the enemy comes, I know you won't be there, fighting what I can, while I'm clenching the air. But I will never fear what comes in the night, because you are with me, holding me tight. No arrows, no shadows, no weapon will scare me. Your faithfulness is covered, and your mercy will carry me. Your presence is the place I refuse to ever leave. Dwelling in your love is the only comfort that I'll ever need. No evil can touch me. No plague will ever win. Let me just read that one more time. Just because it's time. No evil can touch me. No plague will ever win. Because listen, though they knock at the door, I choose to never let them in. Because I'm covered by the Most High. In His Word, there is no lie. And for those that don't know God, soon you will know why. We choose to say here, God, you are infinite. You've known no limits. You were and still to come. You control every minute. Though I doubt and stumble, you always seem to catch me and put me back up, though my burden is heavy. You put a calling on me to speak to the nations, to give young people a voice of motivation. Right in the middle of total devastation, you're breaking curses in every generation. See, I speak life into dry bones, and they come alive. Fear runs and hides. Depression will finally die. Nothing can overcome the spirit that I have inside. I'm open to prophecy that hope will override. Every demon that comes to steal, kill, and destroy, my God is breaking loose the chains, and they are null and void. Jesus came and ascended and took the throne of the King to bring freedom to those locked away without a key. And I know at this moment it may seem crazy, but listen, God is still God, and His reign is never fading. That's called overcome. Only through the Father can we do that. Alright, so now that I bragged on the Father, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. After this 2-year tour, of holding it all together, going on stage and kind of performing in front of young souls and young minds and young hearts. I got back home and it seemed like everything just stopped. And I grew into this depression hole, and I kept digging and digging, trying to find other ways to fulfill this void in my life. And listen, that void was not having a wife. And listen, that's not a part of the testimony. Listen, it's not a part of the spoken word. But listen, the cool thing is that though all that was going on, I started to see how Satan works. I started to see the enemy's game plan. He took my Achilles heel, which was relationships. He took my Achilles heel, which was also my lust and my dirty thoughts. He saw those and he expanded those, and he tried to tempt me to run away and go this other route. But the beautiful thing is like, Jesus never left. Though I was in a dark place, I always saw some kind of light. Amen. And it was cool, man, because like, though this anxiety was plaguing me, I just started to see more and more of God. Even though people were looking right through me, I started to see more of Him. And He never left. And that's what this song's called, Glass Box. Because I don't know if anybody in here is struggling with anxiety. Anybody, just me? Cool. But listen, anxiety is something that literally you feel like you're in a glass box. Everybody sees that you're trapped. Everybody sees that you're struggling, but they don't know how to help you, or they just don't care. That's just how it is. But there's one man who continued to knock on that door. One man that continued to like try to find I'm actually explaining it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, okay? But listen, a couple years ago, I had no clue what I soon would discover. A world plagued by things that I should never worry over. Uh-oh, I lost I'm sorry, 1 second. Say, get out of here. Not today, Satan. Anyway, let me start over. 2 years ago, I had no clue what I would soon discover. A world plagued by things that I should never worry over. Things that I never knew would soon break me down. Over and over again and again until I try to make a sound, but soon realize that nobody is hearing me. So I try to scream a little louder until someone near sees and comes running to my rescue like a firefighter runs through flames. But the hotter it gets, the more my voice seems to fade. See, I get choked on the smoke that fills my lungs, slowly making me black out until my fight is done and the war is won. But not by me, but by this feeling of nervousness. While some have never heard of this, they say, dude, you're just being absurd. It's just back to square one. Feeling trapped within walls that I built myself. A cubicle that's suitable for a dude that will never again ask for help. Not because I don't want it, man, if you only knew, but because when I do ask for help, everyone seems to look right through. But understandably, that happens all the time, so I know how this will turn out. So can you blame me for looking at you and having doubts? Listen, if I can explain what this is all about, maybe you would understand the importance of this bout. This very fight and this moment is hard to speak. The jabs of worriness distract me while my uppercuts make me weak. And my check hook of self-medication seems to catch it off guard for a second. But my quick celebration ends with a haymaker of lonely hearts. And you guessed it, back to square one. See, this place is beginning to look a lot like home. Because I've made my bed so many times and laid in it way too long. See, I'm beginning to think there's no hope for an old sinner like me. I'll admit it. I'll be the first one to say that I quit it. You see, I sit here in this glass box of anxiety, dying to simply breathe. And in this confinement, I find no way to be free. And as I sit in that thought, I begin here tapping on the walls. I sit in that thought, I begin to hear tapping on the walls. I look up to see a man with his hand on the glass, seeing me right through my flaws. Through my talk, through my doubt, through my shame, through my brokenness and through my pain. I've seen this all before though. So I just wave them on like, keep moving bud, there's nothing to see. You understand? I'm too far gone. But the man never leaves. Everybody say, the man never leaves.
The man never leaves.
But the man never leaves and starts looking for a place to enter. Back and forth, he walks up and down, trying to get to the center of this box that I'm trapped in. I'm confused on what's happening because up until this point, no one even cared to ask what it is. I'm trapped within. So I watch as this stranger continues to try and find the weakest spot in the glass. While everyone points and laughs, his persistence still lasts.
Yes.
Suddenly he throws his fist up to the sky and comes down with a whiplash, shattering the glass around me and the walls come tumbling past. And I instantly feel a freedom that I haven't felt in so long.
Jesus.
I feel the wind on my soul and the sunshine on my dome. I look up and see a man looking at me with a smile from ear to ear, and he says 4 words that completely demolish my fear. You're free now, son. Everybody say, you're free.
You're free.
Let's make it personal. I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
Remember that. You're free now, son. And right then and there, I knew exactly what I was to do. To keep standing up and believing that Christ will get me through.